Hey guys, it's Sheree with Lula's Boutique Supply. I'm coming today to finally do a how to be successful while going live having a sale. So how to have a successful live sale. I just took a few notes here, just kind of brainstorming about how I go live and what I do when I go live that makes my live sales so great. They're not perfect, things happen. I definitely don't do them perfectly, and I don't know all the ins and outs of every little detail, and so some people may have better advice or some people may do things different than me, and I just want to give you guys what I do, how I do it, so see if you could take some of my advice and maybe help yours do better. I don't know. Several people had asked for this, and I've watched several other people go live, and there are some things that I'm just like, man, I cannot watch this video just for certain reasons, and so I'm kind of going to go over some things that I've seen while watching live videos, while watching my own videos, where I'm like, oh, I don't like that, I shouldn't have done that, I should have said that, whatever, or I could have done this different and that different. So let's just jump right into it. So like I said, I made some notes for myself, just kind of thinking about my live videos, and so I may have to look down to read those, so just ignore that. So the first thing I'm going to say is prep. Prep before you ever go live. Don't just jump on live and wing it, because then you get, especially if you're having a sale. I'm specifically talking about having a sale. I'm not just talking about just going live to talk. If you're having a sale, you need to prep. Let me actually reach in here and grab these papers to show you guys. I wish I had some blank ones, but I don't think I do. Ugh. A spreadsheet. You need something like this that is numbered, or you can number just a piece of paper or whatever. I wish I could show you that up close in detail longer, but it has people's information on, so I don't want to do that. But you need to get your items together, whatever it is you're selling. Most of you guys, I'm sure, are doing hair bows and tutus and stuff like that. So get your items together that you're going to sell, and you need to number them ahead of time. Not only number them on the actual product that you're showing, or having a piece of paper in there with the product that you're showing, but you also want to have it written down on a piece of paper. This is the number one mistake that I make, is not also numbering the package and just numbering on a piece of paper, or vice versa. That's a mistake, because once the sale is over and you go back, you need to be able to easily say, okay, this person got number one, where's number one? And if you have two things that are kind of similar, you need to be able to differentiate. You know the word I'm trying to say. You need to be able to tell them apart. This one goes to this one, and number three goes to this one, or whatever. So you need to be able to prep, have it all written down. Number one is this, number two is this, number three is this, and have room on your paper to write who won it. And if you don't have a form for customers' emails, then you need to be able to have a spot for their email too. You can go back and grab their email later if they just leave it in a comment, or like I do, I have a form that everyone fills out that has their email on it. That way, when I'm ready to invoice, I can just pull that form up, grab their email straight off of that, and send them the invoice. So that's number one. Always be prepared before you go live. Number two, and these aren't necessarily in order, by the way. These are just how I wrote them down. So one is not more important than the other, really. So number two that I have is get dressed. And I mentioned this in my other lifestyle before, as I was watching Rachel Hollis. And if you don't know who she is, go check her out. She owns the Cheek site. She has a YouTube video. She has Facebook. She goes live all the time. She's very, very encouraging, especially for small business owners, and she'll give great advice. But I was watching one of her videos, and she was talking about getting dressed. Now, hopefully I explained this correctly, because I had trouble explaining it the other day. So for me, being dressed means I have a full face of makeup, my hair is done, and I have clothes on that's not like my pajamas. For me, that's when I feel confident. If I were to come on here and make a video with no makeup on or my hair in a ponytail, I'm not going to have that much confidence, because I feel comfortable and confident when I'm fully dressed. So for you, you may not wear makeup very often, and not do your hair very often, and you still feel completely comfortable and confident. And so if for you that is how you feel confident, then that's how you need to go live. Whatever dressed is to you, where you feel at your absolute most confident, that's how you need to be presenting yourself on live. Now, that's not to say you don't have a more shy personality, but the other thing with confidence is, even if you're shy, what will help your confidence while you're shy is to know your product in and out. know any possible answer to a question that someone may ask while you're live. You need to know your product in and out, especially if you handmade it, then that shouldn't be an issue. You know all your stuff, you know what it's made with, you know the details of it and all that, and you want to give some of those details when you're showing your product. And I didn't write this one down, but this one just clicked with me when I said that. Say you're showing a piece of ribbon or hair bow or whatever, and I happen to have a piece of ribbon right here. You know what? I happen to have a hair bow right here, so let me do that. So you're showing this hair bow, right? You have this hair bow and you say, okay, this is number 1, and you set it down. That is not, I mean, first of all, that's not showing it long enough, but you want to say, this is number 1. It's made with gold foiled floral ribbon that's 1.5 inch wide. It has a detail flower felty on it. It's a pinwheel base bow style. It has an alligator clip with teeth. And that's just an example. I'm not selling anything. I'm just saying you want to be very detailed with showing off your product. The more you show it, the more you show the quality and the materials that you put into it, not just here it is, the more people are going to want to buy it. They want to be able to get a good look at it. And that brings me to the next one, which I'm going totally out of order from what's on my paper, but the next one is lighting. I wish I could actually just show you what my lighting is, but I'll leave a link to it. I have some natural lighting that is circled around my computer screen, and I use my phone to video, so I know that's lame, but so I put my phone right in front of my computer screen, and then my face is lit up. Now my backdrop isn't the greatest, but I used to go live. When I first started, I would go at my makeup table. It is also lit up so that when I'm showing the product, the light is hitting the product. You can see the detail of what I'm showing you. You can see all the details of it. You're not worried about different lighting and shadows and all that. You need to have a well-lit area. That's not to say you need to go get lighting. You need to be in front of a well-lit window, and you need to test out your lighting with your products on screen before you go live, so you can see, is this detailed? Is the picture clear? Is it bright enough? Can I adjust it? And so you need to do those things and test it, and even test how you're going to talk and what you're going to say before you actually go live. Now you can do that by just making a video of yourself and watching it, or by going live privately. You can go live where only you can watch it. That way you can go back and play it. So either way works great. And having a background, it's not absolutely necessary to have a backdrop. Now this backdrop is a little dingy, it's getting a little older, I need to replace it, but behind this is my office, and it's messy, and I don't want everyone to stare at my messy office. It's not dirty, it's just unorganized right now, ribbons out all over the place, you know. No one wants to be staring at that, especially because they'll be staring at what's behind me and not looking at what I'm trying to show them. Now, if I mention a few things that you did in your videos, if someone's watching, they went live, and you know that I watched it, please don't be offended. These are just things I'm saying that you could possibly fix. So, with that being said, one of my customers, she had a great live sale. It was fantastic, but her husband was playing a video game in the background, and I couldn't help but watch. Oop, there goes my lighting because my computer screen went off. I couldn't help but watch her husband playing the video game in the background. I couldn't even focus on what she was showing me because that was going on in the background. So you need to be in a quiet room, you know, you need to, I've allowed my kids to come in and say hello and stuff like that, and sometimes you have a sale where it's a little more chaotic just to make it a little more fun, but it still needs to be organized. If you watch me for any amount of time, and you've watched my live sales with my brother, they are crazy, and they are a little too crazy for me. But that's about as crazy as I let it get. You need to let everyone know, hey, mom's going live. Y'all need to let me focus and let me do this, and then you can come in and say hello or whatever. But for the most part, you should have your children and everyone else kind of out of it so you can focus on what you're doing and it's not super chaotic and unorganized. Now, with that being said, the next thing is, it just like completely lost. You need to smile, and you need to engage with your customers. Look happy, look like you enjoy being there. If you're just kind of looking down and staring at your screen, and you're just saying, okay, here's this ribbon, here's the next ribbon, it's so boring. And you may sell a few things because people want what you're selling, but your views aren't going to be super high because it's too boring to keep anybody engaged. You also need to be on camera, in my opinion. I saw someone just hold their ribbon up with just the background, and they were kind of behind the camera. And it's so boring, especially while we're waiting for them to grab the other ribbon, or I say ribbon because that's what my live sales are, but whatever it is you're selling. While we're waiting for them to grab their next product, we're just staring at just this. That's it. Nothing else. And it's really boring. Now, I feel like, in my opinion, my live sales are so successful because I engage so much with my customers. I tell stories about my own life, about things that happen, about what I was doing when I was packing, and I'm totally myself. If I make a mistake, I just laugh at myself. I throw ribbon at the camera all the time. I can't even tell you how many times I drop ribbon, throw ribbon on accident, trip when I'm trying to grab something, all the time. I just laugh at myself because you know what? That is me. I am clumsy, and you just gotta be yourself. Be yourself. It's so, so important. You want your customers to connect with you because the number one thing is you are selling yourself. The product is great and people are buying it, of course, but you are selling yourself. So when your customers feel like they're engaging with you, it makes them want to stick around. It makes them want to see what else you have to offer. And overall, it makes them want to buy. So the last thing I have on my list is, if you're sick, don't go live. Now, with that being said, I sneeze on camera sometimes. If I need to sneeze or need to blow my nose or something like that, that's not a big deal. I just kind of lean to the side, blow my nose. That's fine. But if you are coughing, especially on your hands, I would not go live. Your customers might be grossed out that you're like coughing and then touching the product that you're trying to sell to them. Now, I'm not saying if you have a little bit of a red nose, that's not a big deal, especially if you just have hand sanitizer. Like one person I saw, she needed to sneeze a few times and she just hand sanitized real quick. I'm talking about if you are clearly sick. As I cough, I'm coughing because my throat is dry and I'm not touching product. But if you are clearly sick, just don't go live. You need to wait a day or two until you're feeling better and then go live, because it will gross people out. And I'm very, very sorry if you've done that and I've watched you. I can't think of anybody specifically that's done, but I know that I've watched somebody do that and I was just like, man, they should not have gone live. And I almost did go live. Well, I did sort of go live. At the beginning of last year, I attempted to have a sale when I had really bad allergies. I wasn't sick. It was just allergies, but my eyes were watering and I kept needing to sneeze. And so I went live long enough to say, you guys, I'm not going live. And my customers could tell, like, oh, she really just is not feeling good. So just wait a day or two. Having a sale and hitting your monthly goal is important, but it's more important just to wait a day or two until you're feeling great. That way you're at your absolute most energetic, you're engaging with your customers, and then they're wanting to stick around, because no one wants to stick around and watch you wipe your nose or cough 5 million times on your hands. So that's about all I have for you guys. I hope you're able to take these tips and have a super successful live show. I know a lot of people are shy, but I'm telling you, when you go live and have a sale, it's so much more fun for people to watch you, for people to get to know who you really are, because you can't hide your personality unless you really just don't talk to the camera at all, which is talking to your customers. It feels like you're just talking to a customer, but answer their questions. Ask them questions to get them to engage with you. Tell them funny stories, whatever you need to do. And you can even try to think of a few things that you're going to talk about before. And I always try to do that when I'm going to go live. I'll talk about sales that I'm going to have or new ribbon that's coming in, just to kind of get it started. Oh, that is the last thing. When you go live, there's always a few 1 to 2 minutes. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, depending on how many fans you have, where there's no one on and you're just kind of waiting for people to jump on. In that time, you need to be talking about sales that you're going to have, the upcoming sale that's about to happen right then. Don't just sit around and stare at the camera or play with your fingers or whatever, diddling, waiting for a few people to jump on. Because while you're just sitting there waiting for a few people to jump on, the people that have got on are going to get off because they're bored. So be talking about a sale you're going to have, upcoming ribbons or bows you're going to have, anything that's coming up, or plans, or an open sale or an open buy, or anything you could possibly tell them that's current with your business that'll keep them engaged long enough for fans to start viewing your video and stay on. Because if you sit there quietly they're just going to jump off because it's so boring. So I hope that this video will help you guys. I want you all to be so successful and have wonderful businesses. I do have a lot more video ideas coming up where we're going to talk about a lot of different things, some marketing ideas and stuff like that. So I hope you will like and subscribe. This channel is so small. I'm not making any money off of it right now, so that's not important to me, but I want you guys to like it, at least to let me know that this was helpful to you. Leave a comment below if you have any other ideas of things that I may have missed or questions and stuff like that, and I'll get back to you. But I love you guys so much, and go make sure you are in our group, Lulu's Boutique Supply RTS, if you're a business owner. And if you're not a business owner, check out Jazzy Little Auctions or our fan page, Lulu's Boutique Supply on Facebook, and you can follow us on Instagram, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.